Did you know that up to 70% of readers say bad dialogue can make them stop reading a book? That's a huge deal. In fact, poor dialogue is one of the top reasons people abandon stories. Think about it, we all love a good plot, but if the characters sound fake or the conversations feel awkward, it ruins the whole experience. But here's the thing, most writers don't realize they're making these mistakes until it's too late. The good news: you can fix it. In this video, we're going to uncover the 6 most common mistakes writers make with dialogue. We'll show you how to make your characters' conversations feel real, engaging, and most importantly, memorable. So, if you're ready to stop losing readers with clunky dialogue, keep watching. You won't want to miss these tips. Chapter 1: The Silent Killer. Overloading your dialogue with exposition. A huge mistake writers make with dialogue is turning it into an info dump. We've all been there. The urge to explain every little thing through dialogue. It might seem tempting, but the result? It feels like reading a textbook. No one likes long-winded speeches, even in novels. Good dialogue should feel natural and be driven by the character's needs, not the writer's need to explain everything. Think about the classic show, don't tell rule. When characters drop huge chunks of backstory mid-conversation, it disrupts the flow. Instead, reveal information through action, context, and subtext. For example, in The Great Gatsby, Fitzgerald doesn't have Nick explicitly tell us about Gatsby's past through dialogue. Instead, the mystery unravels piece by piece, keeping readers hooked. You don't need to flood your characters with words. Let the conversation breathe. A good rule is this: if a character wouldn't say it naturally in the moment, it doesn't belong in the dialogue. Always ask yourself, does this move the story forward or add depth to the character? If not, trim it. Chapter 2: The One-Note Dialogue. When characters sound too similar, it's easy to fall into the trap of giving all your characters the same voice. But here's the thing, people speak differently. So why wouldn't your characters? Each one has a unique background, personality, and goals. In real life, we tailor our speech based on who we're talking to. For instance, we might speak differently with a friend than with a boss. In writing, make sure your character's dialogue reflects this. If every character sounds like the same person, your story loses authenticity. It's hard to connect with characters who all speak the same way. Take the time to differentiate them. In The Catcher in the Rye, J.D. Salinger masterfully gives Holden Caulfield a distinct voice that feels entirely his own. You can do the same by focusing on a character's education, background, and emotional state. Little tweaks, like word choice, sentence length, and rhythm, can make a huge difference. Chapter 3: Small Talk Syndrome. The dread of mundane conversation. You've probably read a book where characters engage in endless small talk, talking about the weather or their plans for the weekend. Sounds dull, right? Small talk in dialogue can easily become filler. It doesn't move the plot forward, and it doesn't reveal anything important about the characters. Dialogue should serve a purpose. Either it advances the story or develops the character. If it doesn't, it's time to cut. Think about some of your favorite books. Did the characters spend time talking about trivial things? Probably not. In The Hunger Games, Katniss' dialogue isn't about chit-chat, it's about survival, fear, and loyalty. Each conversation adds weight to her struggle. Here's a strategy: ask yourself if your dialogue contributes to the plot, reveals something important about the character, or creates tension. If it doesn't do any of these things, it's a good candidate for removal. Even small talk can have a purpose, like showcasing a character's social awkwardness or emotional distance. Use it sparingly. If you're enjoying these tips, be sure to subscribe for more ways to improve your writing. Let's keep these lessons coming. Chapter 4: The Exclamation Overload. When dialogue feels too dramatic, exclamations like, "I can't believe this," or "This is amazing," might seem to heighten the drama, but too much of it does the opposite. Overuse of dramatic language in dialogue can make it feel forced. In real life, we don't constantly shout or make huge emotional statements. Writers often think that big moments need big words. But here's the truth: real emotion is subtle. You don't need exclamation points to convey excitement, shock, or anger. In fact, the best moments in dialogue are often understated. Take To Kill a Mockingbird, where Atticus Finch speaks plainly yet with authority. His calm words carry more weight than if he'd shouted them. When crafting dialogue, use exclamations carefully. If your character is naturally intense or emotionally charged, it makes sense for them to speak in exclamations. But don't let it become your go-to. Instead, let the tension or emotion show in how they speak. The key is balance. Chapter 5, The Stale Response. Characters that just react too often. Dialogue feels like a back and forth of simple responses. One character says something, and the other merely replies. But good dialogue isn't just about reacting. It's about interaction. Characters should engage in dialogue with purpose, whether to push their agenda, express their emotions, or challenge others. Think about real conversations. People don't just react, they also take initiative. They ask questions, offer opinions, and occasionally steer the conversation. In The Godfather, Michael Corleone's dialogue is full of intention. He doesn't just answer questions, he shapes the conversation based on his goals. When writing dialogue, focus on making your characters proactive. They should be influencing the conversation as much as reacting to it. Every line they speak should reflect their needs, desires, and conflicts. Otherwise, your story risks becoming a dull exchange of empty words. Chapter 6, The Tell, Don't Show, Trap. Explaining instead of subtext. One of the biggest mistakes a writer can make is to over-explain everything through dialogue. You've probably read dialogue where a character explicitly states their feelings, thoughts, or motivations. It's easy to do, after all, it's right there in the dialogue. But doing so can strip your story of its depth. Instead of telling, show. Let your characters express their emotions through actions, facial expressions, or body language. In The Road, Cormac McCarthy often uses sparse dialogue to show the emotional landscape between characters. There's no need for them to explicitly state their feelings because we understand them through what they do and how they speak. Subtext is your friend. It's the unspoken meaning behind what's said. Sometimes what isn't said is more powerful than the words themselves. Learn to let your dialogue breathe and give space for readers to infer the deeper meaning. This is what makes stories feel real and rich. Thanks for watching. If you found these tips helpful, don't forget to hit subscribe. We've got more writing wisdom coming your way soon.